Hello again, Retro fans. This is Josh with the Retro Junkies, Genesis Gems, and ArcadeUSA. And I just wanted to share with you my Sega Genesis collection, or what's left of it. Earlier today I was going through my collection, my huge closet full of stuff, and I just have way too many games and systems. I need to thin the herd so that I can actually enjoy what I have, because when it takes you 20 minutes to find the cartridge you're looking for, it's not that much fun. So I just wanted to go through, try to get rid of some of the games that I don't absolutely have to have, and pick which ones either are my favorites, are really great games, or maybe they aren't so great but they mean something to me because I remember playing them with someone. So I just thought I'd share some of my favorite picks, some of my memories, maybe turn you guys on to some games that maybe you haven't played before. Alright, so I'm going to go through my top row here, and these are games that I absolutely have to keep. They're some of my absolute favorites, and the first one is Starflight. Starflight is my very favorite Sega game. If you've listened to Genesis Gems, anytime this game comes up, they usually mention me because everyone knows that Josh loves Starflight. My neighbors had it growing up as a kid, and they showed it to me, and at the time I didn't appreciate it that much. I thought it was interesting. And once I started getting into Star Trek and realized that this game is Star Trek, just not licensed, it's pretty amazing. You get to hire your own crew members, you get to upgrade your weapons, upgrade your shields, explore new worlds. You actually have to find new worlds that you can colonize, which is a very Star Trek type thing. You go onto the planets, you mine for resources. It's really addictive just because you never know what you're going to find. It's really awesome, and it actually came with a star map. So if anyone has one, let me know. I've been searching for one for like ever. It originally came with a star map in the case to show you all the different galaxies or universes, or galaxies, I guess, that you can visit. So really awesome game. It really shows off a great, huge world on a 16-bit cartridge, which is really impressive for the Sega Genesis. My next one is Castlevania Bloodlines. Castlevania is awesome. We all know that. I didn't know that it existed on the Sega when I first got one. And yeah, apparently it's kind of hard to come by, kind of expensive. I was really excited when I found it, so definitely going to hold on to that one. Phantasy Star 2. We all know that the Sega Genesis does not have a great RPG library, meaning I meant not in quality but in quantity. There just aren't a lot of RPGs on the system, and Phantasy Star 2 is one of them. It's really awesome, and my good friend Rob gave it to me, so I've got a lot of good memories tied to this cartridge, so have to hold on to that one. Shadowrun. I really like Cyberpunk, and Shadowrun reminds me of that. Again, this cartridge is not terribly easy to find. It's rated MA13. I don't know how many Sega Genesis games there are that are rated that, but this is one of Aaron Hickman's favorite games, and he's one of the other hosts on on Genesis Gems, and he will tell you how great this game is. If you haven't checked it out, just listen to Aaron talk about it, and he will convince you how awesome it is. Really cool, really good. Again, kind of hard to find RPG on the Sega Genesis. The next one, Toe Jam and Earl, doesn't really need a whole lot of explanation other than it's such an iconic game. If you have a Sega Genesis, you are legally required to have this game because it emanates Sega. You have to have it. The soundtrack is amazing. It's got really cool two-player cooperative play. It's just crazy, like Ren and Stimpy crazy, but on the Sega. It's awesome. And the next one is Hyperstone Heist, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. If you don't know, I was a co-host on Turtle Flakes. I occasionally show back up on the show when I have time, when I'm not shooting videos like this. When I have time, I love the Ninja Turtles, and I love the Sega Genesis game. If you've played the Super Nintendo version, Turtles in Time, they are technically different games. They have a lot of overlap, but there are some bosses in the Sega Genesis version that are not in the Super Nintendo, and vice versa. I think the Sega Genesis version may be a little bit shorter, but I really love that you can use the C button to dash. It really gives you a competitive advantage in battle. It's a lot of fun. And again, this is another one that's kind of hard to find. So the ones that are hard to find that I like, I am not getting rid of because I do not want to have to track them down again. Okay, and moving right along, we've got Rocket Knight Adventures, really great Konami game. It reminds me of Mega Man because it was made by... Wow, I said, no, it is Konami. Reminds me of Mega Man a little bit, in that you can kind of charge your attacks. It's a side-scrolling kind of run and gun. Really great graphics and music. High-quality game. Not terribly easy to find. Definitely want to hold on to that one. Streets of Rage 2. It is the epitome of side-scrolling beat-em-up on the Sega Genesis. Awesome soundtrack. If you have a friend over and you have a Sega, you have to play this game because it's Streets of Rage 2. General Chaos. I feel like this one's probably not as well known. Maybe I'm wrong. Again, my neighbors across the street had this game. A lot of my fondest memories are of those games. My neighbors across the street had a Sega before we did, so we would always go over there and play, and they had some really great games. One of the games that you won't see here is Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. I have it downstairs somewhere. I bought it when I was in Spain, so I have the PAL version, complete and boxed, finally, but I don't have it right here. It's down there somewhere, hence the cleaning. I need to find my stuff. Anyway, General Chaos is a game that they had. It is an awesome cooperative game. I think you can play competitively as well, but you play cartoonish type armies, and you can choose what type of soldiers you have. You can have machine gunners, grenadiers, guys with dynamite, guys with machine guns, and you choose which selection of soldiers that you want for different battles. And then it's a sort of a god perspective. You're floating above the field of battle, and you can control your soldiers. But when your soldiers get really close together, the action stops and it goes into a fight mode, kind of like I'm trying to think. Base Wars, kind of like Base Wars, where the action stops and it goes into a fight mode. Or Blades of Steel, when you get into a fight in that, it goes into a one-on-one, mano-a-mano punch-out, and it's really, really cool. Don't know how well known this game is, but it is pretty hard to find, in my opinion. I've only run across it 2 or 3 times in about, I don't know, I'm getting old, 15 years of collecting. So definitely, if you see it, pick it up. I think it's a lot of fun, and bring back a lot of memories. Really fun with 2 players. Mutant League Football is up here. Mutant League Hockey would have taken its place, but I cannot find that game, and it's pretty expensive. I don't think Mutant League Football is as expensive. It's also a really great game, kind of arcadey like NFL Blitz was, with too much violence, except for you have like mutants, and I think they actually have weapons. It's a lot of fun. Really cool, chaotic 2-player game. Sunset Riders, it's a great 2-player side-scrolling shooting game. A lot of people probably know about this. I don't need to talk that much about it. It's great. Gunstar Heroes, same kind of deal. I feel like it's a really well-known game, and I apparently paid $24 for it. I usually don't pay that much for cartridges. Apparently I really wanted this one. I know that it really shows off kind of the graphical capabilities of the Sega in terms of how many sprites can be on the screen at once. It's really chaotic. In a way, it kind of reminds me of Metal Slug-ish. I don't want to give it that much credit because I love Metal Slug, but really cool game. Kind of hard to find. Again, I kind of paid a bit for it, so I don't want to let that one go. The Sonic series, I don't really need to say much other than I love them. I need to have all of them, so I have all of them here. And also, I love the lock-on technology, so you can stick your Sonic 2 and Sonic and Knuckles and play Sonic 2 as Knuckles. That's so cool. Such an awesome feature. Or I can stick Sonic Spinball on there and have Sonic wave his finger at me and say no way, because I like seeing that graphic. Let's see, what else do we have here? We have Aladdin, obviously really great. I didn't know until the last couple of years that the version of Aladdin on Sega is totally different than the version on Super Nintendo. I'm not going to try to decide which one's better. I personally remember the Sega Genesis one better, so I have a lot of fond memories for it. Gotta have it. It's one of my go-to games. Earthworm Jim 2. It's very Sega. I don't have 1, but I'll keep 2 since I have it. NBA Jam Tournament Edition, you have to have it if you have people over. You can actually get the 4-play adapter and play 4 players on it. Really awesome. Mortal Kombat 2, that's self-explanatory. Golden Axe 2, and I also have a couple box games on the side here, both Golden Axe 1 and 2. Really great games. Golden Axe was one of the games my neighbors had. Really, really love it. It's just a whole lot of fun. It's one of the few games I actually played through the entire game with my wife, and we beat it. Really awesome. Lots of fun, and I love the old school box with the little lines on it for the Sega. It's a lot of fun. Really fun beat 'em ups. As is DJ Boy, so I've heard. My friend Aaron Hickman told me about it. Yes, cartridge isn't the best, but I've heard this is a really fun side-scrolling beat 'em up. I have not played it yet, but I hope to, so I'm hanging on to it. Forgotten Worlds. This is another one that my neighbors had. This is a very early Genesis title. It's a port of the arcade game. I didn't even know it was an arcade game at the time. I love that it's a two-player cooperative side-scrolling shoot-'em-up. That was a mouthful, but yeah. So it's kind of like Life Force on the NES, which is awesome, another one of my favorites. But when you kill guys, you pick up extra zenny, I think they call it, for money. You could stop into the store and upgrade your weapons. So that, to me, is really a lot of fun. I like being able to choose my upgrades by better weapons, by armor, stuff like that. It's a lot of fun. Let's see, I guess we can work on the sides a little bit. Revenge of Shinobi. I've not played the Shinobi series a ton. I know, sacrilege. But I know that it's a great series on the Sega Genesis, and I did play this one a bit, and it turns out that Revenge of Shinobi actually has several versions. They revised the ROM multiple times because of copyright. They put random characters in it, like I believe my copy actually has Spider-Man in it, which is not licensed, and they later removed him in a later version. So there's multiple versions. Mine doesn't have everyone. I think Batman, Spider-Man, and I want to say Wolverine, and maybe some other characters show up. Mine is one of the semi-rare ones that has Spider-Man. It's not one of the later revisions that has them all removed. So I was really excited when I found that out, so I'm definitely holding on to this. That's really cool. I have NHL 94, possibly one of the greatest hockey games ever made on any console, period. There's still people playing this game in competitions. It's awesome, and it's signed by my good friends Rob and Landon from Genesis Gems from back in the day. Reminds me of that trip. That was a lot of fun. Love that game. Ghouls and Ghosts. It's a really awesome game. Very hard, very frustrating, but lots of fun. And I have a boxed copy of a great game. I don't know. I can't bring myself to get rid of it. This one might surprise people. I think a lot of people hate this game and say it's garbage, but honestly, I love it. It's one of my go-to games. I had a lot of fun. I am a huge Terminator fan. I really loved this version. I actually, every time I'd see Terminator 2 on Sega and I saw the shooter game, I'd get frustrated because I didn't like it as much. It's okay, but I just love being Arnold and running around doing the weird hop that he does and, you know, trying to find future bombs that didn't even exist in the movie, but it's still fun anyway. Terrible controls on the vehicles, super frustrating, but I love the movie. I still have lots of fun with this game. I just like being able to run around in the world of Terminator. And, I mean, look at that box art. That's awesome. Alex Kidd. It's another one I haven't played a whole lot of, but if memory serves, I believe Alex Kidd was or was going to be the mascot for Sega before Sonic. So I feel like it's a very iconic game for the system, even though I don't know that much about it, so I'm keeping that one. Space Harrier 2, it's probably a really good port. I haven't played it a bunch, but I feel like it's an early Sega title that showed that they could do arcade quality graphics on the system. Road Rash 2, that's just I don't know, you kind of have to have it if you have a Sega. I love the Road Rash series. I especially like Road Rash on the PlayStation. That one's a lot of fun. I like the soundtrack, it's really kicking. And on N64, it's one of the most fun games in multiplayer because it has terrible physics that are hilarious. Battletoads and Double Dragon, why not? I mean, it's ridiculous. A mashup of two ridiculous character sets. I mean, yeah, it's kind of like RoboCop and Terminator. Why not? Sharknado? I don't know. Again, side-scrolling beat-em-up. You're kind of seeing a theme here. I like cooperative side-scrolling beat-em-ups because I like playing with friends, and this one's no exception. I think that one's also kind of hard to find, so or expensive at least, if not hard to find. Have to Rise from Your Grave, Altered Beast. I think I actually got this one at a garage sale that had a original Model 1 Sega Genesis with the manual, and I got the manual downstairs, and it just felt like such a piece of like launch title history. I really like the artwork on the box. It just kind of takes me back to the even before I owned a Sega. I only got the Model 2 when I was a kid. My neighbors had a Model 1, so it was really cool when we got it. I was actually super shocked, my brothers and I. We saw that there was a Christmas present with all of our names on it, so we knew it was something big, but we didn't know what. And we thought it might have been a game system, but we knew the box was too small. Turns out it was the first time we had ever seen a Sega Genesis Model 2. It blew our minds. Probably one of the best Christmas memories ever. Absolutely loved it. And we played the heck out of Sega from then on. And it's not here. I don't know if I have a copy, but one of our first games that we got for it was Pit Fighter. So I'm definitely going to hold on to a copy of that. A lot of people probably say it's a garbage game, and I don't know that I can disagree with them, but I have a lot of fond memories playing it. So that's one I'll have to track down if I don't have somewhere. Oh, all right. I don't want to make this too long. I'll just pick out a few others I want to talk about. Let's see. We talked about the edges. We started at the top. I think we left off at Forgotten Worlds. Vector Man 1 and 2, they really show off the capabilities of the Sega Genesis, and anyone who had a Super Nintendo was really jealous when you saw this game being played because it looked awesome. It really is. Had to hold on to both of those. I feel like they're a very Sega, iconic Sega mascot there that I just had to have. The Lost Vikings, I really like puzzle games, and this one you can also play with 2 players, I believe, which is really cool. Kind of a unique game. Maximum Carnage. I may get rid of this one. I feel like it's a little harder to find, but the Super Nintendo cartridge is all red, which is pretty sweet, so I may try to track one of those down instead. Still a really cool Spider-Man game, or Spider-Man themed. Don't yell at me, fanboys. I don't know if it technically is Spider-Man or not. Tyrants. This one I really like. It actually has a video rental place sticker on the side, which to me is very fitting because the only time I ever played this was through a rental. My brothers and I rented it probably 3 or 4 times, and it's actually a real-time strategy game for the Sega Genesis. I feel like it's not that popular. I don't know how many people know about it, but I remember at the time being really blown away by it as a kid, and it's a lot of fun. And I just remember playing it with my brothers, so wanted to keep that one. Boogerman Booger! I think this game's hilarious. It's really not that great, but you can actually fart on people and flick boogers at them. I don't have any other games that let me do that, so I have to keep this one. The Avengers. Used to play this one all the time at one of my friends' house when I'd sleep over there. It was a lot of fun. Honestly, I feel like it hasn't aged all that well. It's probably not the best beat 'em up on the system. If I didn't have fond memories of it, I might leave it, but because I do, I'm going to keep it. Echo the Dolphin. It's kind of obligatory in your Sega collection. Lethal Enforcers 2, Gunfighters. I assume this is a gun game like the original Lethal Enforcers, and I have a CRT TV, so I want to try that out once I get a gun, so I'm holding on to this one. Kid Chameleon. I always saw this one, the Kid in the Leather Jacket. I never had it growing up. I always felt like this was the cool game to have, the one that everybody wanted, and I don't know whether or not it's really good. I played it for a couple minutes. I don't really remember, but I feel like I want to dig into it before I'm ready to let it go, because I feel like it should be good. I have high expectations for it. Pitfall: The Mayan Adventure. I really like this game. It's a side-scrolling platformer. A lot of fun. I really like the graphic style in this one. If you haven't played it, check it out. I feel like it's pretty common, pretty cheap. I don't know if people really appreciate it as much as they should, because I don't really hear people talking about it. I like it a lot. Great game. The Good Jurassic Park game, Rampage Edition. Listen to the latest Genesis Gems episode if you want to hear about that. It's actually pretty decent. What's this? Oh, Batman Revenge of the Joker. I feel like this one's hard to find and expensive on NES, so I assumed it was good, and I assumed that the Sega version's good. I've not played it yet. I'm holding on to it. Jury's out on that one. We'll see. I have Desert Strike and Jungle Strike. Jungle Strike has fond memories for me because it was one of the first games we got for the Sega. I never really loved it, but I put a lot of time into it, and I feel like the fact that you can blow up the White House is pretty cool, so I definitely want to keep that one. I'm thinking about keeping this one just so I have the set. I know I don't have Urban Strike. We'll see. Pac-Man 2, The New Adventures. I really like this game. It is weird. It is not a Pac-Man game at all. It's more like an adventure game where you have to figure out puzzles, but I love those, and I like Pac-Man, and I just thought it was a really fun game. I was really kind of surprised the first time I played it. I had never heard of it before, and I'm like, whoa, this is totally different. I think some elements in the game are funny. I feel like it's slower paced. If you've not tried it and you like kind of puzzle adventure games, give it a shot. I really like it. It's also on Super Nintendo. I don't know if I have a Persuasion either way on what system I have it on. The Addams Family, I really like this platformer. It's great on Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo. It's a lot of fun, not too hard, and I don't know, I just really like a good platformer. This is probably another questionable one, WWF Raw. I don't know how great of a game it is, but I have played a lot as a kid, and I have a lot of fond memories of it. I think you could be Doink the Clown, which is just crazy and a lot of fun. Prince of Persia, I've not played yet, but I like the series and I want to try it out on Sega, so I'm holding on to that one. Same thing with Pirates. I played it on Commodore 64. Really awesome on there. This is Pirates Gold. I kind of have high expectations for it for a very large open world type game on Sega. I think it could be really cool. Shinobi 3 to kind of complete the Shinobi series. Star Control. My friend Aaron Hickman told me it was good. I have not tried it yet. And of course, Crew Ball. If you like pinball, it's a pretty decent pinball game. Sonic Spinball is better. I don't know how great it is, but we did a Genesis Gems episode about it. I had a lot of fun. We did a crazy song. It's got a special place in my heart. It's a lot of fun. And the one I absolutely cannot get rid of, Action 52. I was hanging out with my brothers or something, and my wife sent me a text message, and she found this cartridge for $1. It's not worth as much as it is on the NES, but it's the only one I've ever seen in person, and I just love that she picked it up for me. So I have to hold on to it. Well, I think I've talked about just about every game on this table, so let me know what you think. Are there any games that I'm missing? Any I should definitely get rid of or definitely hold on to? Let me know your thoughts. I might do some gameplay videos on a couple of these, just to kind of show you guys why I like them so much, and hopefully maybe you'll discover some new ones that you've not tried. If you have any other comments, leave them below. Make sure you click the subscribe button for ArcadeUSA. Check out some of Willie's other videos, they're really awesome. I'll be doing some homebrew highlights if you like homebrew games on ColecoVision, and maybe some playthroughs of some of these games. So thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.